Hi, my name is Rachel Abernathy. I'm a freshman at Clemson. I'm a psychology and communications major. I attended the Power of Privilege student dialogue, and in that we talked about how different social groups can lead to different types of privilege in the world. In my student dialogue, there were several active and non-active voices. At first, there were maybe about 3 to 4 active voices, and the rest were reserved, but our leaders decided that it'd be beneficial to go around the entire room and everyone would say their opinion about something. So it started off very reserved, but we continually got to where the entire group was active and equally involved. I feel that in my student dialogue I held an active voice majority of the time. I felt like it was a great way to share my opinion and to hear the opinion of others. So I tried to be as active in the student dialogue as possible. I feel like student dialogues at Clemson are a very beneficial way to express your opinions in a different type of way. Because our generation is so revolved around technology, I feel that this was a good way, or that vlogs are a good way to show the way to voice your opinion in a way besides just writing paper the old-fashioned way. So a little bit about the power of privilege. To start off, privilege means, I'll read the definition, refers to the characteristics of a dominant social group defining a societal norm, often benefiting those in the dominant group. Privilege is an unearned right or advantage attributed through social group membership. So, because we go to such a large, diverse university, in my dialogue we had several different social groups. We were asked to fill out a wheel of our social groups. On this wheel, we had your first language, your national origin, your age, your sexual orientation, your gender, your socioeconomic class, ethnicity, race, religious or spiritual affiliation, physical, emotional, developmental ability, and that was it. We were asked to fill out where we stood in each of those social groups and rate them for how important they were to us. Personally, I felt like age was one of my top ones because I feel like our generation, as I mentioned earlier, in our age is very beneficial. We have the privilege to go to college. Like, for example, my parents, only one of mine went to college and was able to go. The other one could not afford it, didn't have the privilege to do that. So I feel as age is a very important thing in the United States for us. A little bit about social groups. A social group refers to the collective of persons differentiated from at least one other group by cultural forms, practices, or ways of life. Members of a group have a specific affinity with one another because of the similar experience. So you can relate to people in your social groups, for example, gender. Sometimes girls associate with each other better because they're girls. Guys associate better because they're boys. Also national origin. I know a lot of people take a lot of pride in where they come from, so that's also very important. But a little bit about the social groups. Sometimes there's discrimination. I guess the easiest form of discrimination that we see is race. A lot of people, especially with the presidential election and so forth, see that, that African Americans are getting more privileged and we're reaching more of equality in life. Different types of discrimination include individual discrimination, institutional discrimination, and structural discrimination. Also oppression. There's exploitation, which is the steady process of the transfer of results of labor of one social group to benefit another. There's marginalization, which refers to the process by which one social group is limited or completely denied access to a system of labor. And there's powerlessness, which refers to those who lack authority or power and those over whom power is exercised without their exercising it. The powerless are situates so that they must take orders and rarely have the right to give them. Side note, These definitions are from Readings for Diversity and Social Justice and Ethology. So, with that being said, in our student dialogue, we talked about these different social groups, and as much as it'd be nice to think that the world's perfect and there is no discrimination or oppression, we do have different privileges for social groups, whether that be class or race or gender or age. There are different forms of favoritism and privilege in those forms, and unfortunately that's just something we have to live with, but hopefully we can reach an equilibrium to where we can all have the same privileges and each have the equality that we need.